Hey, welcome back to this game four. A very exciting game three there, as we see Nameless taking another game, pushing them to two over the SPGamers one. We do see we are in the middle of bans and even one pick with it looks like the same bans from previous game. Actually, this Cuckoo was not banned last game. But that's kind of the only difference. And we do see the Thor picked up in the first slot, very strong jungler, and this Nike just going back, as you know, it's one already. Why not do it again? Um,
Yeah, Darvo likes that Nike. He's been running it down pretty much every time, and it's been working out really well for him. I think he's won both the matches that he had on it. Certainly this most recent one.
I definitely. I definitely do agree. We do see kind of some similar picks. We do see this Thoth pick up again. Thoth, just being a strong mage right now, I believe, unless something's changed
No,
horribly, and I just did not, and I was not made aware. Man, I really need to start reading patch notes.
no, Thoth is easily the best mid laner right now. And Susano, there we go. That's
Ooh,
one of Skinder's best picks.
ooh,
He absolutely
I,
ran a game against Filthy Oars last week, running Susano, basically untouched the entire time.
I, I love this Asano pickup. I understand a lot of people are not a big fan because some people do view it as this is an easy pick. But he does a lot. Um, grabbing people and just beautiful. We do see some more bands coming in as Agni and On Her both finding their way as unplayable this match.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. I'm curious to see what the rest of the bands are going to be because those are Athena. Really, that's not a band.
Again, I feel like I feel like Athena's usefulness going from season 10 with the changes um, to her abilities, changing where the slow is and giving her an attack speed slow. But the adding of the teleporter kind of limits her usefulness of being now the entire team's able to go from one side of the map to the other.
Yeah,
And
she's no longer unique. She does something that everyone can do now.
the Ho Yi finally banned from play as I would say a bit of a respect ban. Also, just
Whoa,
all right.
whoa, that's not a good pick. I
I
in
mean,
my book, I should temper that a little
I
bit, but I don't see Aphrodite do well right now.
I I'm there to be. I Let's find words. Let's find words.
Those are hard to find
Um,
sometimes.
mm,
I just feel
but
with so
I
much anti-heal, like hunters get anti-heal by force, especially with a Nike already in the game, that Xe is just it. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it second item, and I don't see Aphrodite do well. I just had a match into her where I had pressure into Afro 30
the
seconds into the game.
the only way that it does well is if she latches onto the Sasano or the Nike and they just go like divine, just unkillable, murder machines. Capri pickup is an interesting one. I mean, not a bad pick, but
They
not a good one right now.
I will say Yuskos is pretty confident on his Capri. I mean, we've shoved him off Geb, and now he's just gonna play Geb V2. Like he likes that very safe play style. When he's not playing Fafnir, he wants to play safe. And from what I've seen, that's not really the meta right now, and I feel like they're losing because they're not playing that meta. But on the other side, they're not playing an aggressive meta support either. So it's gonna be a battle of the passive supports, which is a phrase. Um, uh, it's not exactly a battle per se, but who is going to be their mid laner is the question. What is Timmy picking up for himself? Needs to make a decision. I'm
Definitely
also
does,
very
or else
curious to see who this Afro is going to be laning with. Tiamat is a strong pickup. That is easily the most meta thing I've seen him play today.
This is a very good question. Who will they pick up as their ADC? As He
There
has
we go.
been erased, and Ram. All right, there's another, the very standard, bread and butter.
That was a favorite of theirs
Langer.
last week, I believe, where they just kind of pushed the ROM just about every game, and it worked well for them. We will see if
Very.
that continues. Yeah.
I'm. Mm,
I
this
am
is
not
this is kind of
loving Nameless's drafts today. Besides Thoth and Susano, I think that SPGamers just has a better draft outright. I'm kind of
has
shocked.
anyone asked Real if like they're being paid to go to a game 5? Um,
Real
is
doesn't
that
have that
is
much
that what
money.
this? This is
What?
very fair. He did just buy a computer and build it.
Yeah,
So
he can't.
he is out of cash. So he's probably not cash apping these guys,
No.
$20 to make this go to a game 4.
This is just
Or game 5.
such a questionable draft. Like Nike's done well for
So
DeVardo, but not well enough to carry an Afro and a Rama.
so here's a bit of a dumb question that
Hmm.
maybe that I just don't. Does Achilles ult go through Afro ult?
No. Afro ult
No.
is effectively
Okay.
an Aegis and a Beats. It goes
Gotcha.
through
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Kumpa passive, it goes through Capri ult, but anything that is full of invulnerability, which Afro is,
Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. That's what
that
I
would
was
be
thinking.
ridiculous if it did. That
That's
would
what
be.
that's
Oof.
that's what I was thinking. But like my mind was just still like drawing a blank. I was like,
Mhm.
maybe this is a thing that I just like for some reason with my 8 years of playing Smite did not realize was a thing.
No.
Um,
But this should
but
be a
definitely.
really good match for Achilles. Besides Thoth, Susano a little bit, nobody can really run away from him. Like Afro's healing should kind of get shut down. Rum's rollout is about the same distance as his execute, so he can kind of run everybody down. This is going to be a good game for Draconics. Tiamat's just a beast in mid, like he just runs at people. And then we will see
Yes.
if Jungle Buff decides to hit more Thor ults than he hit Thanatos executes.
Well, to be fair, his Thana executes were 50-50 on if he was going to get executed from just taking way too much damage, um, as he was unable to put them in threshold. And I think
Yeah.
like the one time I definitely remember him picking up someone in threshold, he got CC'd
Insta-died.
into a tier 2 tower
Well,
and just kind of
he
had to sit
kind of
there.
dove that tower. He was trying to die himself more than
I
kill
don't
someone.
I don't think there was any kind of there. He definitely dove that tower. It definitely was a greedy pickup. And if I'm that support, I'm sitting there going worth.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Pulled his ult, got a kill for my jungle. 1v1 trade is it's not value there.
Not there, no, for sure not. Yeah, the Thanatos play was very disappointing in my book. I was hoping he would do a whole lot more there.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are joining for Game 4 of our lower division final matchup between SPGamers and Nameless. Picks and bans are set. We're going into this game. You guys heard my lovely casting team give their thoughts. I'm going to give you mine. I think Nameless put up the Afro pickup. Very strong into this Thor, very strong into this Achilles. It's not a low skill pickup. When I cast with Narwhal, he loves to talk about, he prioritizes a lot of gods that don't require you to be on point with everything at all times. So certainly this Afro is a high skill threshold. I think if Saraminus pops off on it, it has potential to absolutely run this game. And Saraminus is in the running for my MVP of this tournament right now, so I don't foresee him having much of a problems. I really like Nameless's draft. I think they set themselves up to close this game out with force right now.
Yes, yes. I think it's definitely an interesting pickup. I don't know about if it's a high skill. I think there's a lot that it can do for you. As we do see
Listen, it
relic used and
requires a lot from Serminus. He has to be on point with those ults. He has to be on point with more so than everything. His positioning has to be really there. But the capabilities of him to negate everything that this Achilles and this Thor wants to do is really there. He has the potential to shut down 2-player builds. As we see him so far, ooh, a huge pickup from the Susano 2 to pull in all 3, doing some significant damage on that Hachi, but a little too early to find a kill yet. Fortunately, Rama gets a little too rambunctious with the damage there, but the rollout is good, is able to create some distance. No harm, no foul. Those heals and the health pots are going to start proccing through as he distances himself away. So this duo 3v3 matchup we see starting from these two teams every game is very interesting. So far, it's went Nameless's favor every other game. This game looks like Rama might fall, but no! The heals from the Afro just keep coming out and keep him in this fight. Which should have been a pretty clean fight in favor of SPGamers because of this Afro pickup. Rama's still able to stand his ground.
yes, the Afro does a lot early game, in my opinion. Again, I understand. Who cares about that? But in my opinion, it does a lot. It does a lot for you early game. It does kind of cover up mini sins, and great sustain.
Yeah, so far, very successful pickup. What these previous games we've watched Nameless win those early duo lane engagements, and this time what should have been SPGamers win due to the massive aggressiveness and the Thor damage is negated due to this early game Afro. So far, I'm loving the pick.
So far, indeed. So far, indeed. I see anything else going on here? I think it just looks like standard farming early game. As we see,
we're gonna see both supports not go this typical prophetic start, just because it's very difficult for both of them to stack it. So we're gonna see a gauntlet pickup from both of them. Nothing too crazy, nothing too out of this world. Hachi finding himself at the first back, so he's going to be on the path to get the Devils a little earlier. Susan doing his best to secure those mid RBs. Thor running him down, but no real kill potential there this early. No real help either.
I would really like to point out that, like, really truly, okay, as we see, just a little short.
Thor, Yi Jungle Buff doing his best impression of Skinder to try and go in, dive a tower that early, find a kill. Unfortunately, finds himself just a little too short.
I think, if he was level 6, just the extra power from that would have secured that kill, and that's just so unfortunate. As they do pull out beads on this Susano.
Yeah, he's sitting 2 levels down to the so a little bit of a level advantage there too, just with the natural health and procs that you get. So that was a bit of an ostentatious try and play that could have been successful, and unfortunately doesn't find anything.
Very high risk, but definitely unfortunately does not pan out for the side of SPGamers. Do you see them, possibly all right.
Yeah, we're watching. These teams certainly are showing their colors that this is a more later game in a tournament setup. That they're both playing a little more cautious, a little more cognizant of the rotations.
Yes, definitely, as they are just kind of farming, and as you would expect, right? As much fun as it is for our enjoyment to watch these arena matches unfold on the Conquest, conquest setting.
There's
It
gems
is
on
nice
They're playing for the dub.
Hey man, I wish I could play for the gyms, but unfortunately Real shot that down real quick. So, we're here now also, because I don't have enough friends to make a team. But outside of that aspect, do see this Achilles kind of go to secure that totem and get his team, just a little bit extra sustained.
Yeah, last we watched the same exact matchup last game, this Achilles versus Nike, where Nike found a little more success just due to the way the early game shaped itself. And right now Achilles has the Glad Shield, so he has the ability to kind of dominate that lane a little bit, picking up the totems. But so far everything remarkably even around the map. We're seeing what 100 gold lead on the side of Nameless. A dive in the Susan Astro combo that everybody loves to hate in Arena.
That was dirty. That was absolutely dirty. So I don't know how many of you saw it, but after he was pulled, the dash was cut short by an Aphrodite stun. As we do see the Kepri at full health ult himself.
Yeah, like, oddly enough, my biggest question mark for this entire team was going to end up being this, as I wasn't around for picks and bans to comment on them, was this Kepri pickup. But with the exception of the Susan, not a lot of what Nameless wants to do is this dive in and run somebody down kind of comp that Kepri likes to counter so well. A very, very questionable pick, but, enough supports were taken off the board. That's where Yusoko felt he had to fall back through. Certainly, it's going to do more than that Fafnir did. We're seeing a big engagement, but that Afro ult coming out big, a two-man taunt back in, more just trading of damage. This game, certainly both teams are getting more and more locked in. We're just seeing an even trade of damage. Karios picking up where he left off on this elite pickup.
Threshold.
Achilles gets Nike into the threshold, but wasn't confident enough in his ability to execute.
I wonder. I do wonder if Nike had that leap up and was saving it for that ult, and Achilles knowing that just electing to whittle her down, and force the back.
Listen, sometimes you gotta go for it. You have to be in threshold. You gotta pull the trigger, regardless of what might be up or not.
Yes, definitely. Do you see mid collapsing on jungle if we want to go over to
Ooh, they go for the invade to do a significant amount of damage, but Thor is able to make it up to the sky just in time. Still no kills on the board, but the response is coming out from Tiamat and Kepri. This Susan Afro cringe combo is just invading yellows now. The bane of every arena player's existence is these two matchups. We're seeing it pull off some success in this finals match right now.
Yes. I feel like it's more so just the. Ooh, okay.
First blood goes to the Achilles, gets the execute off on the Nike under tower. But the response is coming out. Susan is showing up. Susan misses it. 2 is not going to find any success on this rotation.
I don't know about you, but I did not have first blood going to the execute under the T1 on my bingo board. Maybe you did, but
especially with Nike ult up 2, the idea generally is that right before you get to that threshold, you ult to throw them off. But it remains available for her for this next engagement, as well as Glad Shield comes online. We're just watching the difference in builds of Nike is going, excuse me, as I'm talking about this, we're finding a nice fight over in the duo lane. Just a good old exchange of basic attacks between the two hunters. But Rama does smell out this Thor rotation, so he chooses to go back under tower. Thor is going to take to the sky. He's going to go to land onto duo, lands onto him, pulls out the beats. Hachi moves up. There is going to be no significant damage and find no kill on this dual lane invade.
You know, before that Thor so rudely interrupted this absolutely beautiful thing of just two ADCs auto attack each, just auto attacking each other, not a cell phone in sight, just living their life, living the best life they possibly have. As we do see the Susano successfully steal a blue from this probably agitated Achilles.
Yeah, I was trying to talk about the solo lane builds before Thor rudely interrupted me.
How dare he?
We're watching Achilles just go this very early game mystical male. I am gonna be aggressive. Nike's gonna go this prophetic. So long game, Nike's gonna be set up significantly better than this Achilles due to the crazy difference in tank that she's gonna gain off of this second item pickup.
What is going on here?
Unfortunately, it's stacking items just to stack it already. Rama goes for the steal onto the Hashi and
does
he
does get it, but he is wearing a green right now, so
yeah.
unable to pick that up and use it to his advantage.
Spots this Afro Susano that is just moving around the map being an absolute menace. Does proc up that Thor, or I'm sorry, that Capriol. They're continuing. They're going for the green steal. A teleport over from Achilles. Thor takes the sky right now. Susan is a little bit separated. Susan goes in, lands onto the Hachi Rama. They're doing some significant damage onto that Rama, but Rama is standing his ground and doing damage. Rama takes the sky, hits 1, hits 2, hits 3. Susan is within threshold. So far, this huge rotation from this Achilles is making all the difference, but we are watching no kills get picked up on the board. Nike comes over, starts to do some damage of her own. Afro is within threshold, gets Thor walled off. They do pick up a pick on Afro. 2-0 on Achilles, starting off nice and strong. We're watching why this is big.
Definitely so, definitely so. And look at this, SPGamers understanding what early objectives is. Something Nameless just, I don't know, they did not have the confidence to do last game early on of just, you know, using their lead, understanding that the enemy is backing off to secure objectives. And we're back to farming. I don't know about you, but this is probably the time when you start doing your best David Attenborough. Just kind of, you know, commenting on the lowly Smite player trying to get to level 20.
Yeah, this as we look at these two drafts, the later this goes, the more it favors Nameless.
It will. I mean, they are, you know, for being 2 kills up, they are only 5. Is that 5? That's like, you know, roughly 500 gold difference. Yes. Sorry, the numbers keep moving and my brain's slow.
Thor takes this guy, lands onto Nike. Nike he does the ult the right time, the right way that time. But the Thor ult pushes off the Achilles execute. He wasn't in threshold. Kills would have done a decent amount of damage. Occasionally those Thor ults are going to troll your own team, or those Thor walls.
He was in threshold, but unfortunately there was a wall between them. As we do see the Achilles come over and just kind of wanted to poke out this trio of merry gentlemen over here in duo.
Yeah, you see massive damage there. Achilles is doing his best to try and put this game on his shoulders so far. Turn around decent damage onto the Achilles through the Susano ult and these Rama basics, but it's gonna be nothing crazy. Thor with a good wall that time, walls Rama off. Rama takes some decent damage, goes into the sky, lands back down, is unable to do anything, pops the AGs, pops the beads, he jungle buff, does finally pick up the kill. Ooh, and a second kill onto the mid laner in the back line. Health bars are dropping, but this Afro Rama is not able to. They do turn around and pick up the Thor kill, but that is not going to mean to anything else. Unfortunately, Nike finding herself on the wrong side of the map yet again. This Nike that I've praised through this set so far as being a good responder is letting her team down so far. This is This is looking like a little bit of a solo dip going into this game so far.
Definitely is. Definitely is. I don't know if like, you know, previous games, if Draconics, I'm gonna stop before I just butcher it worse and worse. I'm not sure if his Cash App hit and he just decided to play a different game, but he's definitely coming in and just absolutely dominating this game 4.
Yeah, we watched him pick the 90 once, and it was something very lackluster. In last game, we watched him on the Achilles be very lackluster as well. But this game, he certainly has figured out how to play that Achilles and is turning it on, and is being an absolute menace. Teleport usages. Yeah,
maybe he did. You know, he might have been trying to do a you know, blindfolded. I do apologize. I'm not sure if you guys can hear our lovely cameraman. He did make a comment that Solo just turned on the monitor. So do you see a Thor ult as he is leaving this fight?
Yeah.
I don't know if he knows he can use that early or if what's
put-
going on there.
Then nothing else to follow it. These engagements are being very, very questionable so far. Good aggression on is now taking their foot off the gas and they're paying for it.
You see Nameless coming in, grabbing that Pyromancer and leaving it there.
Yeah, people don't vouch for that bomb as much as they should, and they kind of forget about it sometimes. That bomb is easy.
I mean, now that like, you know, Beacon is basically just bomb on all the towers. I mean, is it really that value? I kid, obviously.
Yeah, one of the better mechanics they've introduced in a very long time for these teams that have find themselves in very, very difficult season. As SPGamers team does, that'll make it a lot more viable for them. The mid lane for Washington, cut down. Big 4-man gank on her. Can't do anything to escape. Burns the ult, but it's all for naught in the end. I praise this Afro pick, and it's starting to look like you guys might be right. That it's not finding.
It's definitely just it's not that it's necessarily a bad pick. It's just that there's not, I don't feel like there's a lot to just kind of for it to go with, and what should have been Susano and Nike just kind of running at the enemy. It just isn't there as you would hope for this pick.
Listen, the Afro season is a comp as a tale as old as time. Unfortunately, we're just not finding them as grouped up together as they need to be, or Afro linked to the right people. So, like I said when this game started, we talk about like high need for execution kind of characters. You know?
I was really hoping to see that green buff get stolen, because as someone who has a star on Khepri, that would have made me cry.
Yeah, Khepri's annoying abilities has the potential to pull out very weird niche plays like that.
Yes. And we're back to farming. And so we see just everyone just kind of, you know, staying in their lane.
We're moving to a very typical late game setup in the tournament.
Yes, everyone realizes they're very close to getting that. I kind of need to take back what I'm saying as we see some fighting unfold.
Well, the exception to that rule is going to be Heat Jungle Buff. He has not stopped going in this entire time. I don't think he's going to stop now.
This is very fair. These two just kind of having a boxing match. We do see Khepri coming in, but we do see that there is a fight going on there over by Chaos side green. And might just be more just standoff as nothing seems to. Will the Thor coming in be able to make any difference? We do see him pull out the beads from that.
Sorry about that. My Discord seemed to speak a little. Rama taking significant damage. Works the sky does well. Rama is trying to stall and or choose to land onto the after, but it's gonna kill no matter what onto this Rama. Rama falls. Gamers 7-1. They eventually will find that kill.
Will they get that second kill on this? And they will, as Jarby does finally put that Afro out of the misery and probably possible arthritis with how much essence just different movement he's had to press. And as we do see this Nike try, but barely unsuccessful to get a pick on this TMI.
SPGamers certainly woke up this game, and they are not falling to these typical picks that we saw so successful for Nameless in these previous games. Nameless kind of taking their foot off the gas. They've been so successful at finding these easy picks, but they're letting people just walk away with no real recourse, and it's gonna be their downfall in this game too. Unless we see something significant happen, it looks like we might be going to a game 5.
Definitely so. In which point, I am looking at you, Real. Did you make this happen? Are you lining the pockets of these teams? I mean, at least one of them. Actually, probably both teams are getting gems here today, regardless of how this game turns out. It's just who gets more gems is really what it will come down to.
Spot on in your analysis that Real could not afford to rig this game if he wanted.
This is very fair. I would be very concerned, and I would hope that his wife would have stern words for him if he was paying these people to make this go on to a game 5.
And I don't think
he probably does.
He's Fight 2 right now, so I don't think it even benefits him to be watching these games.
Definitely so. I do see he popped in like 11 minutes ago to throw out some emotes to make us think that he was still here, but we know. We do see this.
He's doing a party on his Twitch for
Is he doing a stream party?
No, he's not. He's not that.
Oh.
We
Dude, imagine.
We see a pickup from Jarby on this over there. I guess the key to success seemed to be taking Karios away from this Hoi Yi pickup. Nothing that I would have ever guessed as these games started today, but Hoi Yi be the difference maker in these matches.
SPGamers do get a gold carry, lining the pockets of them in game, allowing them to be able to just have further builds.
As significant as these may look, there's only a 3k gold lead onto their side. Big fights breaking out. Thor is going to the skies. Peppery ult is used onto the Hachiman. Does not save him. Susan is able to pick up that kill in the end anyways.
Early on that ult. I don't think it was wrong to use it when he did, to make sure that he helped him get out, but unfortunately, it is still Sasana.
Yeah, Yi able to pick up another kill from that fight. We're watching the Thor might be the difference maker.
Definitely so. The jungle is always a very important role for your team, and both jungles are very good picks. They're just playing at slightly different capacities here right now. So do you see Thor is level 20 and is able to pick up that upgrade, and Sasano is just now level 20, probably farming up for that upgrade to his starter.
Yeah, 2 bombs lying on the side of Nameless. So the one objective that they have been very conscientious of has been with Spyro. So it does give them the ability to contest any pickup and potentially go for a steal. Again, the gold lead, nothing crazy, only 3K for a difference of 9 kills, only being 3K. It means that the Nameless are absolutely still very in this game. Oddly enough, we're looking at a level lead for the support too, over on Nameless's side. So these catch-up mechanics are absolutely crazy. Items aren't really that off, you know. Tia's sitting a little higher. We're seeing a significant dive onto the middle. They do a lot of damage to that Susan, but Susan linked to this Afro is starting to heal up. The ult comes out from the Afro, doesn't do anything too significant to her. Everybody's staying alive, and these health bars these health bars are going to even out. But Thor sneaking around the back gets a wall. It's off.
Such a great first-person view to see the wall just not long enough.
Yeah,
Already doing 10 times better than me at remembering what keybind it is to switch to that third-person view.
We're seeing a big difference maker here between the two mids is this Tia's ability to put damage through that wall. If we switch over to the damage numbers.
My beauty is relentless.
Yeah, Tiamat absolutely dominating damage, and this Achilles being a true force. Ooh, and a good Thor wall that time to put some damage onto this Rama. Rama is not able to successfully escape. Thor takes to the sky as 4 men are grouping up. The rest of his team is backing off a little bit as their health bars are sitting a little weak. So it is an easy pickup onto the Rama, but nothing additional. As this Pyro Giant does spawn, I want to see Nameless take it to him and try and pick up this fire, put a third bomb onto their inventory.
My child.
Definitely. It will be interesting to see what they do with these bombs, as they still do have several. Oh, and we are into a pause. You know, they do have these 2 bombs. You know, oh, we see Fro is disconnected. I'm very ADHD today, and I do apologize to Sunrise for having to deal with me just having very offhand comments and remarks that sometimes have nothing to do with what is going on the screen.
No worries, but while we are in a DC, we are going to throw it to a pause, and we'll join you when the gameplay picks back up. And we're back. Sorry about that. Somebody had a quick little technical difficulties, but we are back into this Game 3 matchup. As we transition to the 28-minute mark. Still very low kills on the board, nothing too crazy. Nobody's pushed too many significant objectives, with the exception of the amount of bombs that are Nameless's inventory.
That's a lot of damage. It does even up this. Sorry, the beacon was captured by Nameless, causing the 2 tier 1 structures that were still up to fall. Do realize I had not said what I was talking about, and I was going into the middle of a sentence that made no sense.
Yeah, at this point, those 3-1 gold is so negligible. It's not a loss for anybody, really.
I agree, but again, you have to take the tier 1s down to take the tier 2s down. You know.
It's just creating more space. Right now, Nameless realizing that nobody is really around. They try and pick up the Primal Fury. They're doing a significant amount of damage. Thor is rotating over, but is he going to be able to sniff this up in time? No, he is not. But seeing all 4 members over there, they are trying to deep dive the Nike over on the opposite side. But it is a late game Nike. She's pretty tanky. She's just going to walk out with no problems. Nameless, regardless of how far they're sitting down, they're still able to find these minor objectives.
Yes, definitely is good for them to have pulled down. I know it was a slightly troll of this ROM to bring in his purple and try to do both at the same time. It almost did cost him that Thor had stepped up. But all does work out. So we do see
a big team fight over to the opposite side. Afro does take a little bit of damage. A huge Susan ult does knock up all 5, pushes people back. Afro is gonna fall at the same time. Actually, Afro stays alive. Skinder falls. Nova falls. The Capri ult is used on himself yet again. Health bar is really low on the side of SPGamers. The dash in for Rama. Rama doing his best to try and secure any kind of kill that he can here. Does not find anybody successfully. Takes this guy, hits one, misses the second onto the Achilles dash is in to try and do some damage, but no, shredded by the rest of the team. Nike does find a kill onto Jungle Buff, but Carry was doing his best to try and find. It's not fine.
Will they do anything with this deicide coming from going on Nameless, as they're not quite sure if they should push the lane, if they should do fire or not, as we do see one fall fire.
Yeah, we're very sleepy fire pickup. Unfortunately, Tio started to go to the right-hand side. You can tell there's definitely an improvement happening there. This fire is falling very, very. If Achilles,
oh my, okay, I can breathe now. You know, if this Susano had just run straight to fire, he probably could have stolen it, as that was such a slow fire. But unfortunately, it did slightly get trolled by Team On by not going there immediately.
Darby does fall, so no fire on him, and they turn around and do get the pickup onto Timmy. But a turnaround kill onto Skinder because it just takes far too long to pick up that kill. They're doing their best to turn around and do a little bit of damage to this Afro, but it's going to be to no real avail. Find a stun, nothing. This Afro Susan, it's a little successful, but I need to see a lot more tankiness onto this Afro to start to get that man out from these engagements. Right there, not enough damage from this Susan to find that kill onto the Tia in anywhere near what should be considered a reasonable amount of time. So it results in Skinner dying when he doesn't need to. You guys are very how do I word this? You guys are very skeptical of this Afro pick, but unfortunately the reality there is that falls onto the Susan not being able to do enough damage quick enough.
Yes, definitely so. As you know, it is one of those things that, you know, the Afro pick is really strong when it's paired with their strong picks. You know, and this Susano is not playing as well as he should be to make the Afro pick as worth as it can be.
Yeah, I think the prio next game needs to fall onto getting Skinder his. I say next game like I'm assuming this is going to game 5. If this goes to a game 5, the prio absolutely needs to fall onto getting Skinder back on the floor. And ironically enough, getting Karios onto that OE pickup. Right now, sitting 1-6, unfortunately, he was absolutely done. And this dive-in that we just saw from this Ramen, he would have been far more successful on the OE pickup.
Definitely so. We do see a difference of, you know, wanting to play two separate picks the same way. We do see the first tier 2 fall at 34 minutes with the pickup of the beacon. And now they're trying to pull this pyro to hopefully allow them to have more pressure with an extra bomb in the inventory. So we do see a Raven ward going out.
Very, very interesting. I'm glad to see people utilize the new ward pickups. I think the the slow pickup is very, very slept on so far. Hopefully, we start to see more teams pick it up.
It definitely is an interesting pickup that I think it's just slightly more niche, which is a good thing for Smite. I do feel like, you know, having more niche items does allow for more, you know, higher skill play and such.
Oh. And just as I say, we want to one in the right kind of cut. They're have the potential to be very, very overpowered. We're talking about a 3-second slow from a 75 gold item is pretty significant.
Definitely so. Definitely so.
Yeah, Pipe is another player that's been very interesting. I haven't enjoyed watching this Thoth pick on him. It's unfortunately sitting at 0-3 right now. He has climbed a lot higher into those damage now. And when you look at 20k to 33, that hurts your soul.
It definitely does. Like, you know, this Achilles really showing his value with this just being top damage still at the 36-minute mark. You would have thought that someone would have dethroned him, but he is really showing you that he is king of damage right now this match.
Which is crazy because we watched the same player pick it last game and not do anywhere near as good on it. So I wonder what's the massive difference this game where he's suddenly found the ability to pop off. I'd make the argument that it's the Thor not being on the enemy team. The Thor really shut him down.
Definitely so. So, as we are having people who just joined asking to see damage again. We do see Ward's place. Not seeing nearly enough for the time played this match.
Nike hops in to do some disruption. Unfortunately, full HP burns the ult after getting plucked by you can tell she's very worried about these damages that are coming out from this enemy team. And you see this spread from SPGamers. They're really spread out throughout this jungle very nicely. Achilles is doing what he wants in the backline, getting Susano to about half HP. Thor takes the sky, goes down to the Susano, lands on Susan, picks an easy kill for this Thor. All Achilles had to do was walk up, hit cycle his abilities, and set up that Thor for kill. We watch the assisted retreat right now. Nike doing their best to create as much space as possible. Khepri once again using the ult on himself. Nike doing their best to dance the falls to this ability. I think this game is looking like a pretty clean end right here. Unfortunately, SPGamers find themselves very disjointed yet again. Have a mid tower as their support back all the way to the base after reviving himself.
Yes, very much so, very much so.
They're not fire giant. These wins are not turning into a lot for SB.
I do kind of have, like, you know, a slightly serious question. Does this Khepri know that his ult is not a self ult? Anyways, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop with that. That's just, you know, very rude on my part. But as we do see, just just this kind of standoff as we do see SPGamers kind of just get in place to take something off the board.
We talk about how this rep is so meta right now. They're so meta. Achilles is doing that job, and Khepri's just sitting back. So when Achilles does back out, Khepri starts to take the damage, ults himself off. He's doing the job that you want to see from the support, but just as a damage sponge. Khepri certainly knows that he can ult himself, but it's not like it's all for naught. He's setting up these teams to focus him as much as possible, ult himself, and then it's resulting in big kills for SPGamers. As much as we may think it may be wasted potential, it's facilitating what SP wants to do in these team fights, and I don't really hate it. Now 3 bombs sitting on the side of SPGamers as we start the first siege of the game 40 minutes in. I don't see Nameless being able to stave off this siege, especially right now, trying to pick up some jungle buffs. The fight doesn't know where they want to start. It's probably going to be a left lane siege down and push up. Susan does pull in the Achilles, does a little bit of damage, but gets stopped. And into the Hachiman. Thor has to waste speeds, but Thor takes the sky right now. As we push in, Thor lands mid, just disrupts the Nike as a free bird falls on that left side. Only one bomb used. SPGamers needs to reset and drop the rest of these birds, these bombs. And mid bird falls. As we see them pour into the fire giant room. It looks like we might be going to a game 5.
Definitely so. Definitely so. As this, I wonder if maybe this, if Draconics heard your comments about naming Sir Ominous as MVP, and that fueled him with rage that it would not be him. As he's really come in here hot, just showing how important he is for this game. As they do, kill the giant, securing the win, and pushing us into a game 5.
Yeah, look at the damage from the mid and solo laners. That's pretty significant for Achilles to be putting up 43k damage. I can guarantee you, I know it's going to be a ban next game.
If it's not paid actors, paid actors. As we do see it, all the
Game
stats.
5, everything's on the line right now. 16k healing from the Afro, so it wasn't like it was the worst pickup. But yeah, just that solo mid dominance. The I'm Timmy with the last second Tiamat lock in certainly landed on success there. We're gonna throw it to a quick break and we'll join you guys game 5 shortly.